Hey guys, what's going on? Stefan at S&E's Garage. Today we're inside of our 2021 Toyota Camry TRD. We've already done a mechanical review of this car. We're going to step inside to the interior, which really isn't a bad place to be. It's a very comfortable interior. You got some softer touch rubber here. The rest is kind of plastic, so it is a little bit on the cheaper side. Unfortunately, the TRD is based off of the SE trim, not the XSE. Now, Toyota did that so that they can spend their money on suspension and braking upgrades and visual upgrades on the outside of the car. But inside is rather, for lack of a better word, stripped down. We're going to turn the ignition on. We're going to see our cluster. And what you'll notice is with the TRD, your cluster is red, but the rest of the lighting inside of the car is blue. Now that's one place that I think Toyota didn't do a whole lot of thinking. I think they should have made this all match and make everything red. The car just would look better. It wouldn't really look like it was just kind of slapped together, because all the rest of our mood lighting in this car is blue, other than the cluster. Now, one thing I do like, when you start the car, you have your neat little TRD logo that's gonna pop up on the cluster, which I think is pretty neat. But other than that, it's really, there's not a whole lot going on here. We have our, it's not real leather. It's like vinyl seats with these cloth inserts. You have TRD embroidered on your headrests. And what's pretty cool and adds like a ton of horsepower is these red seat belts. They add all kinds of power. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you the way I sit, the kind of headroom I have. I'm about 5'11", 6 foot tall, so I'm not really the tallest guy in the world. But this is the way I have the way I sit in the car. I have plenty of headroom, if you would see, because there is no sunroof. And I also have plenty of room, leg room for my knees. My knees don't come anywhere near, the dash, anything like that. So it is comfortable up here. It's roomy. The back seat is where it's a little bit tighter than my Avalon. Obviously, the Avalon's a longer car, but let's hop in the back seat. I'll show you that. So here we are in the back seat of the TRD Camry, and I do have plenty of room back here. Like I said, I'm about 5'11", so I'm a little bit, I guess you call me average height. I have the seat adjusted as a person that is 5'11" would. And back here, I do have plenty of room. It is kind of tight by my feet. They do kind of have to go up under the seat a little bit. But other than that, I do have plenty of room. I have plenty of headroom. My head comes nowhere near, the headliner, which is good. And we do have little storage pockets in the doors here. And there's also a little cup holder down here in the door. So, you got storage room, you got some room for drinks and stuff, and there's even a little cubby here. I have my covers for the anchors for a child seat, because we had our son in this car the day I brought it home. But yeah, so this is the back seat. Like I said, it's pretty roomy, standard for a mid-size car. And yeah, so let's move over to the infotainment. I'm going to show you guys all that, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're back up front. We're looking at the infotainment center and the climate control. Now, this is another gripe I have about this car. This car has a $34,000 sticker price, and it doesn't even come with dual zone climate control. My 2005 Avalon that I traded in for this car had dual zone, and we actually used it quite frequently, because my fiance is naturally a person that's always cold, and I'm usually on the hotter side. So I'd leave mine at 70 year round, and she'd, in the winter, she'd have hers up to 80, 85 degrees, and it kept her warm and it kept me cool. So this is going to be, take a little bit of getting used to. Fortunately for myself, I'm usually the only one in this car. I usually drive it by myself. Simply because it's what I use to get back and forth to work. My fiance has a Jeep Grand Cherokee 2015. that we use for the family, and so I'm not really going to be using the back seats very often until my son's a little bit older, at least. So now that we kind of talked about the climate control, it is automatic, so you can, select your temperature. You hit the auto mode, it'll kind of do its own thing. It'll keep the car at the right temperature. But like I said, it's not dual zone, so the driver has to be happy with what the passenger wants, and the passenger has to be happy with what the driver wants. So now let's take a look at our infotainment here. This is Toyota's standard, run-of-the-mill head unit and stereo that they put in their Camrys. There's no JBL system. There's no upgraded screen available in the TRD, to my knowledge. I know you can get the JBL package starting in 2021, but I'm not sure if that changes the size of this screen. I'm not a professional reviewer. I don't do this for a living. This is just something that I'm trying. So if there's things that I'm missing or places that I can improve, please comment below. I'm really good at taking constructive criticism. Now, one thing that kind of irked me is when I got in this car, I said, wow, it's got navigation. So I hit maps, and it hits you with this: the navigation app is not installed. So that button is pretty much useless unless you have your Apple CarPlay hooked up. So we're going to go ahead and press OK. Now, this car came with a 3-month subscription to XM satellite radio. So right now I have my my iPhone connected on Bluetooth. But if I go ahead and hit source, you'll see you have AM, FM, XM, and then USB if I had my phone plugged in, which right now I don't. Now, this is a 6-speaker stereo system. It's pretty standard by, today's standard. It's nothing crazy. It sounds okay for what it is, but, when you crank it, the bass does kind of distort a little bit. And it's not like the Bose system in the Hyundai Sonata, for example. It's just, it's not up to that level. But in a car like the TRD, you don't buy this car for the frills. I don't even have heated seats, which is another gripe of mine for a $34,000 car. But I understand why Toyota did that, because they upgraded the suspension, they upgraded the wheels, they upgraded the brakes, the appearance package. They put all their money in that basket and stripped the car down on the interior to keep the car at the right price point. If you'll notice, our rear view mirror, there's no compass, it's not auto dimming, zero frills. It's back to the basics when you get a TRD. But the driving experience of this car is much better than that of the XSE or the SE or the LE. It's a much more engaging drive. It's got a heavier steering feel and things like that. So we're going to get into that in our next video. We're going to take the car out. We're going to take it for a drive. I just wanted to go over the interior. On the higher trim levels, right here you'll have what's called a Qi charging center. This car does not have that, so you can't just lay your phone on here and charge it. Under there you have a little storage cubby. We got our 2 cup holders. There's another cup holder on the side of the door for like bottles and stuff. Same thing on the passenger side. And then you have your center console, which is also really not too big, but there are some charger ports in there, which is nice. So with that being said, this is our interior tour of the 2021 Toyota Camry TRD. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I can really use the views and the subscribes to build this channel and bring you guys some more engaging material. So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.